Hi, this is David Davis from ActualTech Media. We're here at the headquarters of Stratoscale, and I'm proud to be joined by Mr. Ariel Maislos. He's the CEO and founder of Stratoscale. Thanks for being on, Ariel.
Thank you, David.
So, I'm a former IT manager. I was a system admin, virtualization admin. Back then, things moved relatively slowly. The infrastructure was static. The applications development group, if they needed something new, we made a trouble ticket. A couple months later, we had the server up and running for them to do some applications development.
Yeah.
But things are changing. I mean, I've heard stories of companies where, a new CIO comes in and says, hey, we're moving everything to AWS, and if you guys aren't on board, you're out of here, kind of thing.
That's right. I think, again, it's innovate or die. And by the way, for a good reason. I mean, in the past, you'd have these, what we today call legacy applications, that they didn't change frequently. So you were babysitting them, and any change was potentially a disaster.
Your pets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these practices of, okay, let's be careful before we do anything, made a lot of sense back then. Today we see everything is changing, and the organizations have to innovate and evolve in order to meet today's requirements, because the internal customer now is an application development team. These are software guys that are moving very, very quickly. The customer is not a static application. It's a very dynamic set of customer. And if you don't realize the pace that your customer is working at as a service provider, you cannot meet their expectations. And that's why we've seen a lot of these internal customers moving to the cloud, because the cloud better serves them. I mean, just recently we were at a meeting with a potential customer. Packed room, 20 guys, talking about services and the evolution towards a cloud economy. And you saw that, nobody was hearing the message. We're completely falling on deaf ears. Well, guess what? 3 months later, everybody was fired.
Wow. Yeah.
The CEO thought that, replacing the team is easier than convincing them to modernize. And we're seeing now, again, teams that are focused on servicing their internal customer. And that's why we're seeing evolution towards more complex database-like services, cloud applications, things that are developer-focused, meeting the needs of a cloud-native application inside of an enterprise environment. That's where the future is.
Okay. So some companies are putting everything in AWS, but Stratoscale offers AWS on premises. So why is that better? How does that help them?
So again, it's not better. We think that the cloud is amazing. Okay, and AWS is a great product and a great company, but it's not one size fits all.
Right.
For a lot of applications, it makes tons of sense to keep them on-prem, to own your data, or if you're working in a highly regulated environment, or sometimes for cost reasons.
Yeah.
Early on, moving to the cloud saved a lot of money. Today, the cloud is more expensive. It's more convenient.
Yes.
It better serves the developers, but it is more expensive. Taking all these considerations into play, we're allowing you to actually be able to deploy your cloud-native applications wherever it makes sense for you. Sometimes in a hosted environment, sometimes in the edge, sometimes in the public cloud, but it's going to be the same application regardless where you deploy it. And that's true freedom, and that allows you to have a hybrid strategy that works. If you need to rewrite your application in order to deploy it somewhere else, you're never going to do that.
Right. Right. So Stratoscale really provides kind of the best of both worlds. I mean, you're able to keep your data on premises, your intellectual property, your data is close to the developers or the users perhaps, but yet it's fully AWS compatible.
Absolutely.
So that you can move that up to
at
the
any
cloud
time. You
at
can
any
move
time.
in or out whenever it makes sense to you. It's going to be the same application, and for the first time, you can move your application, not only your data.
Very nice. I look forward to trying Stratoscale for myself. Thank you so much for your time, Ariel.
Thank you, David.